Hey guys, Jay Hoyd here. Before we get into today's video, I want to say thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. The amount of views you guys are showing towards a lot of the different content is definitely heartwarming for sure. So thank you guys so much. But we are still making the push to get to that ultimate goal of 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, and don't forget, you can always change your mind later. What's going on, guys? Jay Hoyd back with you. Today, welcome back to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. We got a pair of gameplays for you in the background, as today, in results from the entire year are in, all the stats are here, and it's time for COD Champs, right? This upcoming, was it Thursday? I believe it is August 19th. We start round 1 of championship weekend. So we're down to 8 teams, right? We already said goodbye to the Los Angeles Guerrillas, the Paris Legion, the London Royal Ravens, and the Seattle Surge, right? Those guys are done for the year, and we're down to our final 8 teams, and we could talk about the champs bracket real quick, and it's horrible, right? Just real quick, if you guys remember back in the day, there used to have to be an absolute grind to get to the finals and to win, right? It used to be like, what, 5, 6, 7, whatever it was, rounds or matches at least, where you had a round robin group play, then you had a bracket, and it used to be, you know, a huge bracket where it wasn't easy to win champs, which is the way it should be. But now, the teams that are in starting in winners round 2, being Faze and Ultra, they have to win 3 matches to get to Championship Sunday and win the championship. How is that fair by any means, right? Okay, let's say you start in winners round 1. You have to win 4 matches, right? That was group play back in the day. Like, who remembers that? Then, if you want to win from the losers bracket, you got to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. So the most you have to play is 5 matches. That's not a lot, right? For teams that have been fighting all year long to only have to win 3 matches to win a championship, that's kind of stupid, right? But either way, we'll stop talking about this for now, and we'll talk about that in a different video, you know, this off season, you know, what champ should be, how the season be, you know, played out, and, you know, everything to do with the season. But let's start with Championship Thursday, if you want to call it that. But our first matchup, and usually we start in the elimination bracket, but unfortunately, due to how this whole bracket is set up, we can't actually do that because both those teams don't have opponents right now. So we gotta start off in winners round 1, and let's just start it right off. Optic Chicago versus the New York Subliners. Now, news since this bracket was released: Clayster is back in the starting roster. Diamond Con is out once again. And Subliners didn't look good during stage 5, right? They went, what was it, 1-4, 0-5, or was it 2-3 at the end? I don't even remember now, but they did not look good, right? That's when Clayster stepped away, said, I'll probably be back, but I need to figure out, you know, myself here. And Diamond Con stepped in. But now they're back in it, right? They've had the last couple of weeks post stage 5 major to figure out this roster and to figure out, you know, what they're going to end up doing. But New York has always been considered to be one of the best teams, but doesn't really look like it on paper. But they definitely have the talent to take out these top teams. And do I think New York can come out and win this one? The first event, first matchup after, you know, reverting the roster back to with Clayster? I don't think so. And the main reason I say that is Optic has been looking incredible recently, right? Stage 5 in the Stage 5 Major has been the best they've looked all year long. So it's going to be hard to beat them, especially if they've gotten better, they've fixed more mistakes, and you know, especially if they have the upper a hand on New York here. I'm going to say Optic wins this one. As far as a map count, I'm going to go probably 3-0, maybe 3-1. But we're going to pick Optic in this one. Of course, you guys will see a little bit better graphic of what I'm making out in Microsoft Paint right now. But the official prediction, we're going to go Optic 3-1, moving Optic on to the second round versus Faze. New York drops down versus Florida. Our second matchup of the winners bracket is going to feature the Dallas Empire and the Minnesota Rokker. Now, oh boy. So we have Dallas, who's been arguably a top 4 team all year long, right? The couple of roster changes, they kind of dipped a little bit, but they're back, right? They're back competing again. They finished top 4 at Stage 5 Major, running into a red-hot Optic squad. And they still looked good, right? They still looked like a top team. You know, their new roster, you know, has been performing just as good as before. But here's the thing, though, too. And it kind of makes me, you know, a little confused why people are saying this. But Minnesota's been a good team all year long, right? They've been in the top 8, like, all year long. But now, all of a sudden, they make a huge miracle, unfound run and win the Stage 5 Major. And now half the people that I see are making picks and predictions and everything are predicting them as a favorite to win the entire tournament. Now, how often does a 0-4 Grand Finals run happen? Right? Never. Where they beat... Who they beat the first time? Was it Dallas? And then they beat Faze? And then they beat... I don't know, was it Toronto? Then... I don't even remember now, but Minnesota had an incredible run, right? Will we see anything like that ever again? Probably not, to be honest. Like, probably not. But who are we going to face and who are we going to place in this second round of the finals? Now, like I said, not Optic. Dallas has been a good team all year long. But Minnesota had that really hot run at Stage 5. So, where do we put Minnesota's stock versus Dallas's right now? I feel like this could be a very good game, and I'm gonna go with Dallas, right? I mean, Minnesota, like I said, made that incredible run, but can they replicate that in champs? Like in champs, that's never gonna happen, right? So we're gonna go Empire, right? We're gonna go Dallas Empire here. We're gonna go with 3. Let's go with Game 5, right? Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. Make them go in and see what happens, right? So Minnesota drops down to face off against the LA Thieves. Dallas moves on to face against Ultra. And, you know, this one should be a pretty good matchup. So let's start again in the elimination bracket, right? We have the New York Subliners versus the Florida Mutineers and Minnesota versus LA Thieves. Now, again, New York Subliners have the potential to win against any of these teams. Florida has been a team that has been mostly good, but hasn't really found their way into consideration to be a top tier team consistently. Right? They've had a couple of stages where they've been in the top 3, but can they do that in champs? Clayster looking for the back-to-back-to-back. I don't know. I just, for some reason, my gut's feeling New York Subliners. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go with the hometown team, New York, and let's move them on to the second round here. As far as map count goes, I mean, these matchups are going to be close, right? They got to be close. We'll go Game 5, though, just to make it, you know, really good here. And I totally just, I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but I made a 3. It kind of looks like a 3. It doesn't really look like a 3, though. But either way, on to the second round of the matchup. So that means Florida Mutineers are out. One and done. Unfortunately, they're out of the tournament. But Minnesota Rokker versus the LA Thieves. Now, LA Thieves have been looking good. Like I said, Minnesota have been looking really good in Stage 5. This, again, any of these let me just say this too now. Any of these matchups can go either way. Let's just say that, right? The top 8 teams are here for a reason, and it wasn't even close. It wasn't by like 10 points that one team didn't make it. It was by like 180 or something like that. So it wasn't close. So who would we have in this matchup. I mean, Minnesota, LA. I'm going to go... Ooh, should I go... That's not really upset, too. I mean, Thieves have been pretty good, but can they take out Minnesota? We're going to go with... I don't want to call it an upset, but let's go with Minnesota to win this one. You know, like I said, Thieves have been pretty good, but Minnesota have stepped up in Stage 5. They stepped up in the Stage 5 Major. Obviously, winning it was huge for them. But the LA Thieves are going to go out. Map count... My default answer here is going to be 3-2, right? Game 5, assume it's Game 5, Round 11, search. It's going to be a good one regardless. So, New York and Minnesota move on. But what's going to happen here in Winners Round 2? Now, you have Faze versus Optic, Ultra versus Dallas. Again, this one could be so close. But Optic, like I said, they had an extremely good Stage 5, right? They went top 3 at the Major, losing to Ultra. Faze went out super early at the Major, which was, I don't want to call it a huge fluke, but the fact that they lost, you know, versus a couple of hot teams, you know, is a different story. Then they lose to Seattle Surge in the elimination bracket. This matchup is so difficult because Optic's been red hot recently. Faze has been the best team all year long. Did they get nervous for the big moments? I don't know. But this one, it's going to go Game 5, right? It's just default answer. Everything's going Game 5 with the exception of one matchup so far. And man, the biasy and my gut are feeling two different ways. But let's just say Optic win this one. Right, I feel like Faze definitely could win this one. And it's been a great matchup all year long. But let's go Game 5. Let's go Optic winning this one. And let's just say we're not going to see the last from Faze. But that does put Optic in our winners finals, right? With the crowd back, you know, getting top 3 for Optic was huge. Their best placement all year long. And they had to fight through the elimination bracket to do it. This time, if they can get in there a lot easier, we got to move on to the second round of the elimination bracket. We have Ultra versus Dallas. And some people are actually having Ultra winning the whole thing, which was very interesting to see. But who are we going to pick in this one, right? Dallas has been good. Ultra's been probably the second best team all year long. So it's hard to go against them. But I feel like Ultra step it up when it needs to happen. They go into Stage 5 Major, get second place. I feel like that's where they're headed again, is back in the win column here. Ultra, let's go 3. I mean, again, do I want to say 3-2? Because I don't know if 3-1 really justifies this these results, right? But either way, Ultra move on here. They go against Optic in the winners finals. Atlanta, I feel like it drops, or it switches, I think, after this. For our next matchup, let's drop down to the elimination bracket, round number 2. And I did figure out it does flip. So the top side, so in this case being Faze, they drop to the bottom. So all the way at the bottom in the elimination bracket. And then in this case, Dallas would stay up top and face off against the Subliners. So this one should be a banger of matchups here. So we got Ultra and Optic in the winners finals. Second round here, we got New York Subliners, Dallas Empire. Second matchup, Minnesota and Faze. So let's start with New York Subliners versus Dallas. Now, considering Dallas to be the favorite, that New York would be the underdog, right? That's just how this matchup would work. But here's the thing. Glacier going against his old squad, right? He's back at it, going for the three back-to-back-to-back championships. And they face a tough matchup, right? Even if they won this matchup, they'd have to face either Minnesota or Faze in the next round. And then they'd still have to go through either Optic or Ultra. And then they'd still have to go through one of those teams again. Now, do I think they could do that? Probably not. Do I think they're going to beat Dallas? I don't know about that one either. But this one, we're going to go with Dallas, right? I feel like This team is just too good. New York still, who knows how well this team's gonna do. And we're gonna go with the 3-1, right? Dallas is gonna move on, knock Clayster out of the tournament, and unfortunately he's not gonna get the back-to-back-to-back, but still he has 3 rings, and there's some other players I want to get some rings first. So that's what we're gonna go with. So New York is out. Dallas moves on to battle for top 4, I believe this will be. But the next matchup, we got Minnesota versus Faze. Now, again, we've talked about Minnesota having a hot stage 5. Faze, not so much. But here's the thing. Faze has been our best team all year long, right? Minnesota has only really looked good and like the best team in the game one time. And that was at stage 5, major. So, it should be a close one. I feel like it's going to go game 5, but in this one, we're going to go with Faze. That's going to win in the game 5, sending Minnesota home. Faze will move on to face off against Dallas, and we definitely have our best 4 teams in the game right now. Those 4 teams: Optic Chicago, Toronto Ultra, Dallas Empire, and Atlanta Faze. But let's start in the elimination bracket. Now, this, I mean, like I said, any of these teams could win any of these matchups. Now, Dallas versus Faze. Dallas is a good team, don't get me wrong. But I feel like right now, Faze is better. Right? Like I said, they had the little struggle at stage 5, but they've been our best team all year long for a reason, right? They are the best team in the game right now, but they have to prove it once again when everything gets tough. When every part of the environment gets tough, the pressure, the adversity, the pressure of being the #1 team in the game all year long by far, this is the time they got to prove it, right? These guys are looking for more rings, right? I mean, Simp has already got 1, right? All this team has 1, right? I believe. Maybe Celium doesn't, but either way, though, Faze is going to win this one 3-1. Faze will move on here to our elimination bracket finals, awaiting the winner of Optic versus Ultra, which is our next matchup. And again, this one could be huge, but here's the thing. This was a matchup from last tournament. Optic looked very good at last tournament. Do I think Optic can win this series? Yes. Do I think Ultra can win this series? Yes. Do I think either team has a clear-cut advantage? No. But here's the thing that Optic does have that Ultra doesn't. Fans. Fans that are going to be in the crowd chanting, "Let's go Optic." The green wall is going to be there. The hype squad should be there. I don't know where exactly they're playing, but usually if it's a huge arena, there's a lot of Optic fans there that are all chanting, making tons of noise. And, rewatching that matchup from Stage 5 Major, at least the finals, they did not like Ultra, right? They did not like them. And especially given last tournament that, Ultra did knock Optic out. We're going Optic to win this one, right? The crowd will be behind them. They are so much better when pressure's on, when, they got the fans behind them. They are a different animal. And Optic will go back to Championship Sunday and win this one. Now, this is where it's going to get hard, though. We have our final 3 teams here. And I think I just spelled Ultra wrong. It's totally fine, though. Ultra versus Faze in the elimination bracket finals. Now, here's the problem. Do I want to see Optic versus Faze? Yes. Do I want to see Optic versus Ultra again? Yes. Do I want to see Faze versus Ultra in the final? Yeah. But we can't have all of those, right? We got to just pick one of those scenarios. Now, Ultra and Faze have been arguably our top 2 teams all year long. That's pretty clear-cut answer. But who would win in the elimination bracket finals on a Saturday, the day before Championship Sunday? Now, here's the other problem, too, and I just realized it. There's only one match on Sunday, right? That's the finals, right? There's one match. It's a best of 9, don't get me wrong. But there's only one match, right? We have all of round 1 is going to be on Thursday. All of round 2s are going to be on Thursday. And then all of round 3 and 4 are going to be on Saturday. And then it's just going to be the best of 9 on Sunday, being the only matchup. Huh. That's very weird. I wish they'd almost have winners finals and elimination bracket finals on Sunday, because I feel like that would just make the most sense. But I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. But Ultra versus Faze. This is so tough. These teams match up so well. They've both beaten each other so many times. Who's going to win this one? Oh, I don't know who to put. I'm going to put Faze. Right? They've been our team all year long. You know, this is the #1 team in the game. They won regular season by a mile. But can they bring it when times get tough here? I think they can. You know, seeing the old rivalry with Optic and Faze in the finals, it's gotta be something, right? But that puts us the question, right? We had this entire tournament, right? Optic winning through the winners bracket, Faze winning through the elimination bracket. Who would win Championship Sunday, best of 9, final tournament of the year? Who would win this one? Right, Faze has played a best of 9s a lot. Optic, I don't think, has played a single best of 9 because they haven't made it to the finals yet. But this would be the best finals ever or the best placing ever for Optic. This year, at least. Could they win this one? Yes. Could Faze win this one? Yes. But Optic need this, right? If they don't win this tournament, going into next year, who knows how next year will look for any of these teams, right? I still feel like Faze would stay the same, but who would win this finals, right? My gut, my heart, my flag says Optic, no question about it. But then I also look at Faze being the best team all year long, also is making me think of Faze. Now, best of 9 should be first to 5, but I gotta go with my heart in this one, right? Optic Chicago, it's their time, right? Scump and Formal aren't going to be playing forever. Faze still got lots of time to be good. Let's go in the game 8. Still so weird to say. Let's go in the game 8. Optic is going to be your 2021 Call of Duty League champions. Now, yes, it's totally biased. Don't get me wrong. But the fans are back in LA with the hype squad, with the green wall behind them, in a bigger stadium than usual. And I feel like Optic have a pretty good advantage being the best team, or not the best team, the most watched team, the most supported team, the most followed team. They got the fans, right? And if they win this one, Scump gets his second ring, Formal gets his second ring, Envoy and Dashy each get their first, and I'd be happy, right? It's been 4 years since Optic won, an IW, and I think it's time for them to win again, right? Faze they're built different, right? But it's Optic's time, right? We gotta have an Optic victory this year because we need it, right? The Call of Duty League needs an Optic victory more than anything, right? If you want to have the most watched tournament of the year, you need Optic in the grand finals. No question about it. You need Optic there. I don't care what other team's there, but you need Optic there. And plain and simple, right? Well, let's have them winning. Like I said, Optic in the game 8 versus Faze. Optic will be your Call of Duty League champions. But of course, there's lots more people that have opinions, and I'd love to hear from it. Of course, mine is pretty much based in biasy the Optic match is based in biasy, but Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. All of your predictions, your thoughts on this tournament, an underdog story. Let me know down in the comment sections below. But like I said, that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, hit that like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you never miss an upload, and don't forget, you can always change your mind later. But as always, guys, we'll see you in the next one.